Hey everyone, this is Danny from Power to the Panel, and we've got a special video for you today where we're going to walk through our first issue of Power Metal. For those of you that don't know what Power Metal is, it is our monthly comics magazine that you can read completely for free online, and I thought it'd be fun to just walk through how easy it is to get a copy from our website and go through issue 1 with you today. So head on over to powertothepanel.com. You can do this from your computer, your laptop, your tablet, mobile device, whatever you want. And right on the home page, you can read all the latest issues of Power Metal. Let's go ahead and grab issue 1 for free. And I can go ahead and download that file. Alright, now that I have my issue downloaded, I can open it up and start enjoying it just like any of you can that head over to powertothepanel.com. And before we dive in and start going through issue 1, I just want to talk a little about what Power Metal is. So as I said already, Power Metal is a monthly comics magazine. It is totally free, and its sole purpose is to spread the word on how awesome comics can be. We want to bring together a group of artists that want to showcase their original comics work every month for free, show the diversity of their art style, the diversity of their storytelling and the genres that they cover, and the backgrounds and perspectives that all these people bring to the comics medium. This is geared towards any kind of reader out there, whether you're into traditional superhero comics from the mainstream, whether you're into underground or indie comics, whether you are into manga, or you have never read a comic before in your life. There is going to be something for all readers in this magazine, and you can come back every month for free to read your digital copy online. So we'll start off with our very first premiere issue that debuted January this year and has this incredible cover by Rojo Kova. For those of you that don't know Kova, I highly suggest you go check out his YouTube page, Kova's Lookout. He does incredible videos on comics, the comics industry, deep dive essays, video essays on different comics topics. And when we put together Power Metal, we knew that he was the person we needed on the cover for issue 1. And he brought together something pretty spectacular here. So taking a look at the cover, you'll notice a few things that are always going to be there in every issue of Power Metal. We have our top tagline at the top, comics for the ... And every month we switch this up. We gear it towards a different group. And that idea is based around the concept that comics are for absolutely everyone. I usually pick this theme, either working with the cover artist. Sometimes I'll give them the word as a prompt. Other times I'll tell them, hey, create whatever you want as the cover, and based on that, I'll pick the prompt to match the art. And that's how it worked with this amazing cover that Kova did. On the inside, we always have our introduction page, our title page, with a quick sketch that I'll do, again, mirroring whatever the group or the demographic is for that particular month. We also have our table of contents and our main credits page, so highlighting who the cover artist is, the back cover artist, which is in most cases myself, editor, myself, and our executive producer, Brian Christopher Moss. And then we have our table of contents where we want to split between the comics and the non-comics content and make it really easy for you to jump and read your favorite comics and see who those are created by. And you'll notice there are way more comics than non-comics pages here, just 4 pages maybe in total that aren't comics. That is the whole point of this magazine. This is for comic readers to showcase cool comics from a diverse background of artists that cover the whole globe. We have our mantra, again highlighting that comics are for everyone, as well as our cover artist spotlight, which we do every month, where we interview the cover artist, get to know them a little bit, and understand where their inspirations come from, what their background is, their relationship is with the comics art form. And then we dive right into the comics themselves. And issue 1 starts with a pretty spectacular bang, which is coming from Mark Manner and Ryan Webb. This is their collaboration on a comic called Crazy Eights, with each month having a new chapter following these crazy scenarios that take place in Ontario, Canada. It's a mix of dark humor, crime, surrealism, and Mark Manner writes, Ryan draws, and Ryan is probably one of my favorite artists. Definitely my favorite Canadian artist at the moment, that is for sure. From there, Carnivorous Things from Adam Yojimbo, hailing all the way from Australia. Again, we want to bring together artists that come together from all over the world to showcase their works in this magazine. And we want to make it super clear that when you go from one story to another, yes, you're getting little snippets of each story so you can come back every month, but the look and feel, the genre, the art style is drastically different from comic to comic. That is by design. We wanted to really showcase what you can do with the comics art form. We also took this approach with the magazine, mirroring what happens in places like Japan, where you have this concept of a weekly or monthly comics magazine that collects chapters of everyone's work together. Rather than buying individual comics each week, it's one magazine that you can get and read what everyone is working on. And as you start to learn and grow learn and understand who your favorite artists are, you can then follow those artists, and all of these books will eventually be collected by them, and you can then go support and buy those books from the artists themselves. After Adam Yojimbo, we have the incredible art from Mr. Meow. Preview, I'll just drop right now. Meow is our cover artist for our next issue, Power Metal issue 6, that will be debuting very soon after this video. And he has his surreal mixture of cartoon style with almost a Mobius style and sometimes quite horrific style, but also keeping it humorous at the same time with this story, Outside In. And Meow is a master, in my opinion, of drawing in black and white and using that contrast. From there, we have my personal comic that I debuted in Power Metal that I'm working on right now, releasing pages with each monthly issue. And this is kind of my attempt at making a action adventure story, pretty different than my previous works that are more slice of life, set in a alternative sci-fi world. This is just the introduction chapter for that comic, which is called Overdrive, as you can see here. Follow us at Power to the Panel. Check out all the monthly issues. This is the only place where you can read Overdrive for the time being until I collect it and release it as a volume. Another Canadian artist that comes to the table is Dale Nicholson, who has one of the most insane art styles I can probably think of. It's, Bill Sienkiewicz meets Frank Miller, meets graffiti, meets everything under the sun. There's nothing that Dale cannot draw, and this is his original comic series, again published in Power Metal magazine, that you can read completely for free. And You can just tell Dale is a master artist. Just Jamie bringing in the heat with his comic Portal Runner Part 1, The Grind. I said Meow was a master of utilizing black and white, but Jamie is certainly up there as well. Um, yeah, just look at that second page. I don't think I can say anything more. And our cover artist, Kova, isn't just a great YouTuber and commentator on the medium, he also makes comics himself. And he has his existing comic, which you can already go out and purchase volumes from his website directly, but he is including it in Power Metal for free every month. That is AWOL, his take on the superhero genre. We also have a preview here for a comic that is going to debut in a later issue. Actually, at this point, we've already debuted it in the following issue, issue 2. And you'll see that throughout different issues of Power Metal. There aren't any advertisements. It's a totally free book. The only ads you'll see in there are for the artists themselves, projects that they have coming up in further issues, side projects that they might be running, our own website. So again, reminding you where to go to read the volumes for free. But this is the retro sci-fi psychedelic comic by Mike Tucker. And then coming all the way from Cardiff, Wales by Matt Bees is Roundhead Ronnie. And in this specific issue, the debut story, The Mystery of Parsnip Lake. Fantasy, dark humor. This has it all, and Matt has an incredible style that, again, looks nothing like what else is in this book. He can draw people so well, he can draw faces so well, creepy imagery, as you can see on this bottom right panel, monsters, creatures, medieval knights. It is incredible, and it keeps getting better and better in further issues, so I highly recommend you check out Matt's work. We then have Kaya with his sword and sandal Conan inspired Crud the Rainbow Serpent. And what I love about Kaya's work is it looks like someone who just loves to draw. This reminds me of the drawings you would do sitting in your room after school or in class at the back of the classroom, drawing in your sketchbook and just not feeling like you have to follow any rules at all, just drawing what you want to draw. And the amount of dialogue in here, it's heavy, it's intense, but that's the beauty of comics. You do not have to follow any rules. Next, we have the debut of Angels with Dirty Faces. This is a collaboration of Brian Moss, who is the executive producer of Power Metal, and Slowhead. So Brian wrote, Slowhead drew, and this is an insane comic. This is like, mecha, but in the creepiest way, kaijus, taking over the world, fighting back. It's got mystery, it's got sci-fi, it's got fantasy, all mixed together. And Slow is an incredible artist. He knows how to draw incredibly striking images, but he also knows how to draw things and give them scale. And that's exactly what you see in this comic. Then we have Brian's own comic, Space Woman, which is, I feel like I keep saying this, unlike anything you will see anywhere else in this book, or probably anywhere else in general. Brian, background as a painter, he does not hold back when it comes to what art can look like in a comic book. And you can see that with the layouts, the character designs, the momentum, the emotion that is in these pages. Oftentimes, as you'll see as you read through the different monthly issues of Power Metal, we'll have a mix of both recurring stories. So, read a few pages, come back to see where the story goes each month, as well as short stories. And what we have here is a short story. This is provided by Adrian Schneider. He frequently is making appearances throughout issues of Power Metal, each time different short stories that he submits. And one thing I love is how Adrian draws faces and figures. It is simply drawn, but it's a simplified complexity. The least amount of strokes necessary, but you know exactly what you're looking at. And he loves to tell stories with creepy twists to them. So the egg is no different. This is kind of a messed up story, but it is awesome, and it's got snake vision in it. So where else will you read a comic that's got snake vision? Next up, Big in Japan by Rami. He just took it to a next level. This is someone's thoughts, their conscious just spilled onto the page. It's graffiti, it's paint, it's art, it's comics, it's everything you can imagine wrapped in one. And it looks nothing like anything I've seen before. Rami actually wrapped up Big in Japan. So all the Big in Japan pages that he has exist for you to read for free in every issue of Power Metal. And he's also provided some other stories that exist in some of the later issues, but just absolutely insane art that you can see on here. Each one of these is just, a standalone work of art that you could stare at for hours. And we wrap things up with Devin Yider and Mike Walls and their series, The War on Woodward and Fifth. This is a special comic that we specifically chose to wrap the book up in. Devin has given so much to the comic community, and we want to make sure that every issue of the magazine highlights his latest work with Mike Walls, and we end on a strong note. We always have the letter from the editor, as well as what's important to us is the ability for you to find your favorite artists. So everyone that's featured in each issue can be found at the back with all the links to their social, so you can go support them, follow them. Again, as you grow to learn who your favorite artists are, you know where to go to find them. Preview of the next issue to come with the cover for Power Metal issue 2, which already dropped in February. You can go read it for free right now at powertopanel.com. And then the back cover done by me. And again, the back cover is always playing into the theme of the front cover. Not necessarily from an artistic standpoint, but the tagline for this month, or for that issue 1, was comics for the hardcore. So what's the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear the word hardcore? It's, of course, every hardcore gamer's favorite system of all time, the Sega Dreamcast, with the Jet Set radio and the Dreamcast TV. What better way to end the first issue of Power Metal? So thank you guys all for sitting through this flip through of Power Metal 1. If you want to read it on your own pace, head over to powertopanel.com, grab that link, download the issue for free, download all the issues for free. On top of the digital copies, we also have physical editions available as well. You can also pick those up at powerofthepanel.com. Just head over to our shop link. You can order as many copies as you'd like of any of these issues, and we encourage you to read this comic whichever way you see fit. If you prefer reading digital, read digital. If you prefer reading physical and owning the physical copy, read it physical. The most important thing to us is that you read these comics, you enjoy these comics, you tell us which ones you love, which ones you want to see more of, and go support these artists. Any of the comics that you see here, they're made by real people, real artists that are releasing their work independently, and we highly encourage you to go support those artists as well. As always, come back for more comics and culture. We'll be back showcasing future issues of Power Metal, interviewing some of those artists, and talking about more of the process of how we put this book together.